What's up, everybody? Figured I've had my kayak for December of this year. It'll be 3 years. Figure I got roughly about 2,000 miles on it, mostly river miles. Anyway, I just wanted to give y'all a review after 3 years, what it's like. So the kayak's a 2017 model. I upgraded it with all the 2019 features, the hatch, the front hatch, the Versa console. I did not get a new seat for it. I love my seat that's been sun bleached, turned copper on me, or brass, whatever you want to call it, bronze, the bronzing of it. But anyways, I'll go over with you right quick. It's starting to rain. 3 years, what alls went wrong, what's went great. 3 years, I have beat this thing to daylight, the pieces. Like I say, I've probably got about 2,000 river miles on it, maybe even a little more. Most of the time, 2 or 3 times a week, hitting a river, skinny water, running it into rocks, done a few things, running it down some stuff that I shouldn't. I've drug it a mile through the woods without a cart. It's pretty tough. Front console, the new one, it's great. It leaks. It's a kayak. It's going to get water in it. If you don't want something wet, get a dry bag. It's not going to be waterproof. I mean, it's just the way it is. Anything that they say is waterproof, it's not going to be waterproof. It may be watertight and water resistant, but it's not going to be waterproof. I love the Versa console. I use it all the time. I carry bags of cashews, rope, toilet paper. This time of year, my stuff with my cigarette lighter and dryer lint in. I'll keep my phone in this one, and it's great. I love it. But here, so we'll just keep on moving back. The handles, I've had them for close to a year now. They've worked really good. I've got some rash on them from running into stuff and bumping rocks. The seat, after 3 years, I finally got a little tear right there. Other than that, that's it. 3 years of constant river abuse. You can see where I went down a class 3 rapid. The kayak and me separated. It went down upside down. I've been down a few class 3 rapids in it. The seat is held up so good. I do have to tighten the bottom occasionally because it'll start to sag like it is now, and it'll get tiring from my bottom end. I always run in the high side. No cracks on the seat where the seat rests. I've plopped down in it. I fell in it. I've jumped in it, and I haven't had any issues with that. One of the issues that I had is that I honestly don't like. I understand why they make them plastic, because it'll absorb some of the energy. The plastic slide that the foot pedals are on, it kind of twists and turns. You can see it right here. I'm moving it. It would be cool if it was a machined aluminum. However, I understand that wouldn't flex, and then it would put more stress on the boat, whereas this absorbs some of the flex. The tow controls, I don't use them. I broke my rudder off, and I'll explain how I done that in a minute. So the tow controls don't work. I've broke this one when I slid down a mountain. I do not have the rudder deploy cable on here anymore. The only other damage is the grommet came out. It came out when I done this up in the top right corner. And let's see here. I'll change this out. It does pretty good about keeping water out, actually. So my rudder's broke off. I never put it back on. I didn't use it anyway. We got into a bad storm out on the river, me and my son, and I tied his boat to mine, and we took off, and I ended up breaking my rudder off. I do not have the plastic clips, bungee clips. My brother got me these eyelets. It works out great for securing stuff for going on kayak camping trips. I love it. That's really it for all the stuff that I've damaged on the top. 3 years of absolute total abuse of this boat. Now let's look at the bottom, and we'll look at the road rash. All right, now we're to the bottom side. Like I say, 3 years of river rash, getting the stew beat out of it. This is the front of the boat. You can see some's been ground off. I have drug this thing across boat ramps when I go to the lake. I've drug it up boat ramps at the river. I've drug it. Honestly, it's never been on a cart. So it's got some damage to this part, but nothing super deep. The only part that was super deep was right here where I done a little bit of plastic welding. It did not go all the way through. I just wanted to put some plastic in it anyway, and that's where I hiked my boat a mile through the WMA to get to a part of the lake that I couldn't get to otherwise. Here's a new place that I just see while I'm looking at it right here. I got hung on the log the other week in the lake, a stick up, and it took me a minute to get off. I guess that's where it grabbed a hold of it. Transducer cover plate. It's a little bit warped. I don't use it. I don't run electronics. I just tear them up. But anyways, you can see the scratches. There's a pretty good gouge right there. Actually, it's just a slice. It's not even really that deep. It looks deep on camera. You can see it's scratched up pretty good, but there's nothing really that deep other than the place that I plastic welded. I have replaced this. The other one got completely wore off where I loaded my boat so much at the boat ramp by myself, picking it, dragging it by the end. So it did get tore up pretty good. Really good $10 or $12, whatever they cost to be able to, I don't remember exactly, to be able to replace this. But look, guys, man, that's around 2,000 miles of river rash. So look, we went over the boat. Like I say, I've had it for a little over 3 years, beating and banging it up the river and dragging it across the rocks, parking lots, up boat ramps. And it's still together. There ain't really nothing tore up hardly at all on it. So that sucker is tough as ladder knot. I hope I get another 3 years out of it. I love it. And when that one tears up, I'm just going to get me another one. I hope this has helped some of you guys wonder about the longevity of these Sea Ghosts. I can't speak for a lot of other stuff, but I can tell you on the 130 because I've had it for so long and beat the stew out of it. Look, y'all have a good evening. Go out and go kayaking.